Okay, now we have West Virginia interim coach Josh Eilert with us. Coach, when you're comfortable, get us started with some general comments.
Yeah, first and foremost, I'm very grateful and thankful to be here in this position, to carry the torch at West Virginia and follow a Hall of Fame coach is not lost on me. I'm excited for the opportunity, excited to help represent West Virginia and lead the charge. We've had a couple good weeks of practice, and things are going well, and we're excited where the program is going.
Okay, remember, if you've got a question, raise your hand. We'll get a wireless mic to you. Let us know your name and your affiliation. Questions for Coach Eilert? Got one here on the front row, and we've got one over here on the second row as well. Let's go to the second row. Over here to your left, Coach.
Nathan Gies, Lubbock Avalanche Journal, has been kind of a whirlwind for you, just how everything transpired. How have you kind of settled in now that you know where you're going and what you kind of need to get done at this point now?
You know, we're practicing now, so it's this summer was a whirlwind, and we had a lot of distractions and trying to keep everybody with their head down and focused on what the goal was. You know, midsummer we didn't have 5 or 6 guys on our roster, and we had to keep those guys and that foundation together, and we had to figure out how we build and move on each and every day. But waters have calmed down, but now it's just in time for, you know, practice is, you know, heating up, and we're halfway through the preseason, and we're a couple weeks away from our first competition. So we're excited, we're eager. I think we got a great group with a lot of chemistry, and it's building each and every day, and that's been at the forefront of you know, building this culture and this program and getting it where we need to go to be very competitive in this league.
Coach, we're going to be in the middle and the front row here.
Hi, Coach. Ryan Roberts with Riverfront Cincy. West Virginia has a lot of history with Cincinnati from the Big East day. What does that natural rivalry in terms of proximity do, and how has DeMar Johnson been since you've taken over?
It's nice to have, I talked to Coach Miller and Coach Dawkins, and it's nice to have a couple more, you know, teams in our league in our time zone. So, you know, the travel in this league, it can be a bear, and it certainly has been a bear for us, you know, at West Virginia, because, you know, we were the outlier in the league. Now we got a couple more in our time zone, and it's going to make things a little easier. And you mentioned DeMar Johnson. He's been awesome from day one. You know, he hasn't quite been there a year yet, but we hit it off from the beginning, and he's an ultra competitor. Every day he wants to compete, whether it be at pickleball or golf or whatever it may be. He's an ultra competitor, and it rubs off on our guys. And a high character guy that you can build a program around as an assistant as well.
Okay, we're going to go here to the middle, about 3 rows back, Coach.
Yeah, Coach, Kevin Sweeney from Sports Illustrated. Obviously, you guys have been relatively active recruiting future classes this fall, despite some of the uncertainty. I guess my question would be, what went into the decision to do that, and how have you balanced explaining that uncertainty to recruits?
Yeah, there's an interim tag, and I'm mindful of that, but the way I see it, I'm the head coach for a 10-month period. Now, you know, it's come down to about 6 more months on my contract, but I plan on being here. Our assistants, you know, we got a great group of young assistants that are eager every day, and we're building a culture, and we plan on being here. And so when we go out and recruit, that's the message that we portray to them. And you know, so on the recruiting trail, we just sell what we have, and we have a great group of guys that want to work every day and bring the energy every day, and a staff that guys are going to gravitate towards. So we tell a lot of them we have one of the best staffs for individual development in the country, and I really think we do. So we sell that to those guys, and we're going to keep recruiting and put ourselves in a position to have this job in a year. And I know I'm mindful enough to know that we got to win games, and we will win games, but we're going to recruit for the future as well.
Okay, we're going to be here in the middle, Coach, on front row.
Neil Meyer with the Front Office News. You talk about a guy like DeMar Johnson, obviously with the new blocking charges rule, that's been placed. DeMar put out a tweet saying that he took a couple charges in practice the other day, and then the league came in and told him that they're not calling that anymore. Could you just walk us through that conversation with him a little bit more?
What, the conversation about the?
About how that charge went, he was kind of laughing about it a little bit.
Yeah, DeMar needs to get in the weight room a little bit more. I think he's a little allergic to the weight room, so he took that charge a little harder than most of us would. No, but it's been fun. He's the type of guy, and each of our assistants are the type of guys who they don't even need to stretch. You know, there's one opportunity that I saw in practice, and when we only had 10 guys, and one of them was cramping up, and I looked the other way, and DJ's running down the floor. We didn't skip a beat. One of my assistants just jumped in. They were ready to go. And that's part of having a young group of guys that are ready to go and excited to, play the game. And those guys are all still young enough to jump out on the floor and mix it up with our guys.
Coach, we're going to go to the back of the room here, next to the last row in the middle.
Yeah, Sean Walker, KSL Salt Lake City. Coach, you've been around this program a little bit long enough that you were part of West Virginia's program in the athletic department, I guess, when they made the transition to this league. You touched on the 4 newcomers and everything. If you had any advice to those teams to give them transitioning to the Big 12, what would it be, just about kind of joining the conference and making your way in, style of play, geography, whatever that may be?
You got to manage your rest. That would be the biggest advice I have, especially in January, February, on those short nights and those long trips. There's so many times we got home at 5 or 6 in the morning, and you turn around and you're playing 2 days later. So it's a game within a game. Managing your rest, managing your travel, making sure you're doing right by your guys, because as a coaching staff, if you feel it and you're worn down, just think about your guys and how they feel, because they're the ones competing night in and night out.
Any more questions for Coach Eilert? Not seeing any. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.